In this video, I'm breaking down my exact filming process, including the camera settings I use, the specific angles that make cars look aggressive, and the movements that instantly make footage feel like a commercial. I'll even show you the biggest mistakes that most people make when filming cars and how to fix it. By the end, you'll know exactly how to make your car videos look cinematic. Let's get into it. For my camera, I have a Sony a7 IV with a 16 to 35 millimeter lens. The reason I went with that is I shoot in a lot of tight spots, and that 16 millimeter, especially with interiors, I find is really helpful, just capturing everything. And so it's somewhat versatile, but it's definitely not a big zoom lens. But for my situations, it works out really well. I've got a Atomos Shinobi 2 as my display monitor, and this just helps because it gets really bright outside or too dark, so it just helps so I can see everything really well. My gimbal, got the DJI Ronin RS4, kind of the workhorse for car videography. First thing you always want to do is make sure your gimbal is balanced, which is really easy with these RS4s. So just on the left here, I just have a little slider that I'm just going to push this forward. So when it's unlocked, it's just going to maintain its same position. 24 millimeters. I'll switch to that 16 when I start doing the interiors. This looks pretty good. We'll turn the gimbal on. You just hold the manual plus the trigger button at the same time. And so that will calibrate it. For my camera settings, I'm shooting in Sony S-Log at 60 frames a second. My shutter at 125, high resolution 4K. My white balance I have set to 5600. My aperture, I have it about 3.2, f3.2. I have my focus on continual autofocus, and I'll just tap on where I want it to lock in. One thing I forgot to mention is setting my ISO. It kind of changes. The native ISO for S-Log is 800. I have this set, I think about 1000, 1250. How I approach filming a car is I break it down into quadrants. So I will start with the left-hand front driver side, then the passenger front side, and then the same thing for the back. And I'll do various different shots. So the first one I'll do will be pretty easy, which will just be a push and then a pullback, followed by some orbits. I like to start really wide because if I want to use it for, say, creating vertical videos, I have some room to crop. From there, I'll then do the same shots, but closer up. Those are what I would label as my basic general shots, my utility shots. Then I'll move on to more creative angles. Other thing to remember is to always adjust your CPL filter to get rid of those annoying reflections. Two different ways that I set up my gimbal. I'll use pan follow, which is what I'll do for probably 80 to 90% of the shots. You can also do pan tilt, and then you can do follow point of view, which is where you can do some really creative shots, like what I like to call the superhero shots. So I'm just gonna hold the trigger, and because I'm gonna just lock on to the center of the car. As I'm moving, I'm just doing this kind of heel to toe, nice ninja walk. Then I'm just gonna do the same shot, but just reverse. We're just gonna pull out, toe to heel this time, knees bent. A lot of core work here. Now what I'm gonna do are some orbit shots where I'm gonna basically just move on around each corner of the car. I'm gonna start pretty wide, then I'll do another round moving in. If the shot doesn't go according to plan, just do it again. The key to the orbit is just keeping the point of interest centered as you're moving. It takes a lot of practice, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't have to do it twice a lot of times, maybe even 3 times. What part of filming car videos do you struggle with most? Camera angles, movement, settings, lighting? Drop a comment below. I'll reply with advice, and your question might become the next deep dive tutorial. So I got the front side. I'm gonna do the same exact process for the back side. Again, starting with wide shots, then moving up closer, then eventually to detail shots. I have a tree in front of me, and instead of just getting frustrated like, oh, there's a tree blocking my way, I can use that as a creative asset that can just enhance the shot a little bit more. It's what we would call a reveal. Just like I've done before, I'm gonna do some close-ups and detail shots. I have the front and the back done so far as the driver's side corner areas, some details. Next, I'm just gonna do some slider shots for the side of the car. So to get this slider shot, essentially what you do is just lock onto your target, and then I'll just hold the trigger and I'll just keep it nice and steady. I'm gonna do an orbit shot of the wheel. I would always recommend making sure that the emblem is right side up. I always find it looks kind of tacky if you don't. I'm gonna do the interiors now. I'm gonna set my lens to 16 millimeters, and that's just gonna give me a lot more room. The interiors are very tight, so that way I can kind of capture everything, and then I can crop in where I like. I've put my aperture to f2.8. Then I have my ISO set to 5000 with my CPL and with my ND filter just cranked as far as it can go. I'm also going to change my focus settings to manual. To me, it just seems to work better because you're trying to capture everything, and so it just helps kind of create a more natural look to it. Just like before, I'll do some close-ups, different angles, and kind of take the same approach as I did with the exteriors, where I'll do the driver's side, then do the same movements on the passenger side, as well as the back middle section. And I'll just start with a simple push-in shot. And I have it kind of tilted down a little bit too, the lens. The idea is you're trying to kind of look how a person would step into a car. I'm gonna do a little orbit around the steering wheel. I'm gonna do the cockpit now, the driver's side, infotainment center, all that sort of thing. I'm fortunate today is a perfect day to film because it's overcast. There's not a lot of harsh light, which normally it would make these shots very tough. Basically what I do, I just kind of have the camera kind of tilted down a little bit, and I'll just do a little pass across the front here. So a lot of times I'll use the seat here. If I want to do a mask transition, those can be kind of helpful. I'll just kind of pan right across it, and later in post, I'll use that as a nice transition to the next scene. I've now got all my basic shots. This is where I can mess around a little bit, get a little creative. I've switched my gimbal setting to FPV, which just allows for all different types of movement. And I have this set on custom, and that way it just seems to work better for me, just getting all these different kind of balanced angles. Just gonna do a little pull. So I'm just gonna pull around here. Just gonna go up like that. Another fun one is where I'll start at the wheel. I'll do a pull out all the way to the front of the car, and this creates a really cool transition in post later. So we're gonna do some rolling shots. So for this one, I'm gonna use the sport mode, sport fast, where you just hold on to the little M button here, and that's going to make it so I can do a quick pan and it won't lag behind. So I'm gonna do some drone shots. I got a Mavic Mini Pro 4, 4K, 60 frames per second, pretty much just how my camera was set up, 5600 on my white balance. I'm shooting in D-Log, so it gives me a little more room to work with in post. It's really bright out here, so when you are shooting in manual mode and you have a wide aperture like I do, you're gonna need some filters. They're ND filters for drones, so I highly recommend getting them. And this will cut out nasty, overblown highlights.
Home point updated.
I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you want your videos to actually look cinematic, not just good enough, hit that like and subscribe. I'm dropping more breakdowns on filming, editing, and building better visuals. And if you want to dive deeper, everything's on my website, andrewcoopervideo.com. Keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.